on you. Let's dance. Ha!
Hey everyone! FROGAiming cast here, and we finally actually have a full house. So, first up we got Sean.
Hello.
Shane.
Hello.
Susie, after a long time. Yes. Hi.
Sorry.
It's cool. And we have Theo.
I missed so many parties.
Yes.
My ears.
Yep, and Theo, who is now saying 5 years.
7 days.
28 days.
Since what, the last League video?
No. Anyway, so we're back here.
48 hours.
Yeah, anyway, we're back here with the release of Lulu, and I pretty much, like, recorded this at 3 a.m. on Lulu's release day, which is why this isn't live comm at all. I'm gonna admit it now, it's not live comm.
We're trying something new.
Again, it's 3 a.m. on her release day.
And wait, this was your first ever game as her period?
Yup, it was the first game. It was a normal game, too.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Our last League game was exactly 2 months ago on the day we're recording this.
Wow.
Really?
Talk about consistency. It's the same day.
Wait, what was?
The last League video is exactly 2 months from today.
Yep.
Go, hyperactive Lulu.
Recording this. So,
Yeah,
knowing
we need to
our
get back to doing.
schedule, it'll probably be 4 months ago.
You probably might want to tell people that you sped up part of the inactive parts.
Yeah, pretty much I sped up every time I go recall back to base, go to shop, go back to lane, and all that.
Now, to open this up, I just want to... Go ahead, Theo.
Didn't you just tell them that when you mentioned it?
Yes, I did, because I'm awesome like that. Anyway, can you, to start this off, can you tell us how her Q works? First of all, I can't remember what it's called.
Her Q is Glitter Lance, which basically two vectors, one line going from Lulu and one line coming from Pix, which is her fairy companion, and also her passive. Pretty much how it works is that both lines will cross at your cursor, and they can either... What was it? It's really sensitive. I've noticed that it's really sensitive to angle changes the closer you are to the midpoint between Lulu and Pix. It's not necessarily towards Lulu. It's in the midpoint. Thus, when you reposition Pix at all, you have to remember where Pix is, or else the cursor, the lines, or the vectors might not cross where you want them to go.
So it's not like Rumble to where you have to hold it down and drag it. It's more about moving... Oh, disconnect. Or was that reconnect?
It's basically just 2 different points that it fires from, except the second point it fires from is constantly following behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not really. Actually, a couple of times I figured out that if you strafe using Lulu, you can have 2 radically different points because Lulu orbits around, like Pix orbits around Lulu, not at a fixed distance. By the way,
So I can't help but wonder.
Orbits around Lulu.
I can't help but wonder what you're doing here, Faith. Your laning partner died, but you almost got 2 kills.
Yeah.
AP carry
But
support.
Awesomeness.
Pretty much what ended up happening here is that my Vayne ended up dodging my heal.
Oh my god.
Are you serious?
Yeah, if you didn't notice before, I was running over to Vayne to heal her. She flashes right as soon as I try healing her, and dies as a result.
I thought you were just running at Nunu to try and kill him.
Oh boy.
Nope. I was trying to heal
did I.
Vayne. Yeah. If anybody wants to know, that's exactly what happened. I was like, facepalm. Always remember what summoner spells your support takes. And try not to run away from them if you know that their heal is going to be off cooldown. So now it's not off cooldown, and Vayne can't rely on the knowledge that I actually have heal.
That's happened to me so many times before. Even like when you're not supporting, when you have like a tank with heal, it's like they keep running even though they're low HP. It's like, no, come back, please. So and so has died.
It reminds me of all the times that I've played Lee Sin jungling or top lane. You know, you try to use his W to jump to safety, but your ally's just that little bit away from you, and then they keep running, and you're like, no, come back.
Oh, and might I add about Glitter Lance? Glitter Lance applies an 80% decaying slow, pretty much.
Ooh.
Like,
A lot of slow.
that is a lot of slow.
Noticed that with the vein
Basically,
earlier.
anything that gets hit by Glitter Lance will have an 80% slow that decays over about a second or two.
Now,
And the effect of Glitter Lance and its damage aren't amplified if both shots hit a champion. So I try to split the vectors as much as possible, but it doesn't work most of the time because I wasn't familiar with Lulu, how Lulu's targeting worked here. Nowadays, when I play Lulu, I do it all the time, but
Nowadays, 2 days later.
yeah, 2 days later.
two
Yeah, I'm like,
users.
wait, nowadays.
True facts.
Like right
here, people.
there. Right there, I
Glitter-
split it to try and catch Vayne, but of course, my Vayne is dumb.
Oh, what the?
And dies.
Wow.
That-
Wow.
What?
He's a real prince at League.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And
Now,
yeah,
here
now you
is
get
where
it.
I-
Get a,
Yeah,
Wow.
I
Wow.
use Whimsy to get away.
That-
Whimsy, since you guys saw pretty much like one of the main uses of Whimsy, is Whimsy applies a 35% movement speed buff on your character, as well as gives you bonus AP. I think its maximum is about 80, and it starts at 20. So 20, 30, 40, 60, 80.
She like
24.
rides her staff. She needs like a Wicked Witch to the West skin. That would be epic.
She has one of her
She does?
skins. The one that Faith is using in the video is called Wicked Lulu.
Yeah.
But I don't see the classic witch hat. I mean, come on.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
an
speed
brew.
this up. This is one of the. Oh, this is because I'm scouting, so.
Secret
And you didn't mention the other
agent
use of
Fae.
Whimsy.
Yes, the other use of Whimsy is that it has a double double effects. If it's cast on yourself or an ally, it gives you the movement speed buff and the AP buff. If it's applied onto an enemy champion,
Squirrel!
right there, that is where I use it. It turns you apply the status effect polymorph on an enemy champion, and it turns them into a squirrel essentially, or a kitten, or a cupcake. It depends on
I
what
see.
skin you're using.
So,
I'm waiting for the,
Lulu is a squirrel.
I'm waiting for the various household appliance skin to come out. That's gonna be glorious. Turn Garen into Blender.
No difference.
No difference. Just one is completely
Well,
harmless.
Yep. Now, polymorph is a very unique kind of CC because it acts as a movement speed reduction. It's not a slow. It's not a slow. It's a movement speed reduction. It reduces any enemy champion's movement speed flat out by 60. So, say you have 300 movement speed, now it's 240.
I want
And
to
Vayne's gonna die
have
again.
the.
Dang.
Yeah, my vein is
Cupcake.
pretty derpy, as you can tell.
I want to have the cupcake polymorph and a brand, so we can turn you into a cupcake and then bake you.
Oh god.
That was completely her
Self-baking
fault.
cupcake.
Or it's the flaming cupcake.
Polymorphed brand equals self-baking cupcake.
Now, something I'm
So-
thinking about is that,
Yeah.
like, if you somehow decided to go AP carry Lulu, would Rise make like all these slows incredibly OP?
Diminishing returns.
Yeah.
It'll amp them up a little bit, but not as much as if you just added the two numbers together. It doesn't work that way.
Yep. And Lulu's slow is pretty strong in itself. You will get very little benefit by putting any additional slow on her.
Could you AP
So
carry
what
us her
Shane's
though?
saying is.
I
It's-
wouldn't try it.
So what Shane's
AP
saying
carry-
is the client's bad at math.
No, it's just the formula that they use. Because if it was just completely additive and you added the two numbers together, it would be ridiculous. If you had two 50% slows put together, it would equal a root. They wouldn't
Or
be able to
stun,
move. That's
yeah.
that would be a 100% slow.
I know I'm making
Makes
a
sense.
joke out of it.
But anyway, polymorph. If I wanted to go and continue about polymorph, it gives the 60 movement speed reduction, and it also, and since in polymorph form you're not your normal champion self, it acts as like a silence as well as it prevents anyone from auto attacking. You literally cannot auto attack when you're in polymorph form because you have no weapons on you.
I forget.
But any
Can
of-
you use summoner spells?
Nope, you can't use summoner spells either because you don't have the
I know you can
capacity of
cleanse.
it.
Cleanse, I know you can, but do
Yeah.
the other ones still work or
Nope.
no?
Nope.
Overtime
so just-
abilities, though, like overtime
Now,
abilities,
be
like
careful.
do you want to go or should I?
I was probably gonna mention the same thing you were though.
Yeah, like Corky's Gatling gun, Rumble's flames, those will persist. But something I'm wondering about: do channels persist like Karthus's?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
I've tried several times in this video to go and use it on Nunu to keep him from channeling. It doesn't work.
So does that mean if you use it while Katarina's using her ultimate, we can have a spinning kitty throwing knives?
Yes.
I've seen, like, after this had happened, or the few days I've played League since she came out, the Karthus ult of Doom, like, it's like the red demonic whimsy creature, like, channeling this red aura and killing the whole team. It is so
Yup.
horrifying.
For a
to see.
squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty epic though. I don't know if that was a bug or if it was on purpose on Riot's part, but I don't mind because otherwise the polymorph would be just way too strong because it gives too many disables in one skill.
Yeah, it has to have some drawbacks, like the persisting skills, that does actually make sense. Like, from lore-wise, like, how can you shoot bullets while being turned into a ferret? That doesn't really make sense, but, like, from a balancing point of view, I guess it does.
It's not a ferret, it's a squirrel.
A three-eyed squirrel that looks like a fox. Who would have known?
I think we need to explain E.
Need to explain E? Pretty much Help Picks is either a one-shot burst if you put it on an enemy. It also repositions picks to them, so any skill that is using picks will actually shoot off from that point. So
AKA
several times.
Glitter Lance.
Yep, aka Glitter Lance. Like I think a couple times here I've pinned on enemy champions and I've used them to slow, but I don't really remember if I did it here.
Yeah,
Because it's almost a guaranteed slow if you use Help Picks and Glitter Lance at the same time.
Yeah,
Also,
it's
another-
just
You
I
first,
just
Theo.
seen that you had used E a few times and you hadn't explained it yet, so...
Yeah, it's fine. It's because, like,
Yeah.
I haven't used most of it to... It's because E, I used it usually mostly to cast on other champions, like here, for, Rise. I think I used it here.
Yeah, you just did.
Although most
No,
of my
that
teams
looks like
are derp.
Whimsy.
That was Whimsy. But,
was Whimsy.
during this portion, I used it on Rise a couple times because if you put it on an ally, it sends picks to them and essentially gives them your passive. Picks, as a passive being that she will, she will shoot additional, bits of damage. I
They're
think it's
called
3
bolts.
bolts,
Bolt.
yeah. 3 bolts. It shoots 3 bolts, that is, I think, was it 18 magic? No, 36 plus 2 times your level. So you can essentially give somebody an additional 100 attack magic damage for their auto attack, which is
Oh,
really
there goes
good
the
on
ult.
auto attack based champions.
There goes
yep,
the ult.
there's the ult. The ultimate is
Gosh.
this is
Hugify.
yeah.
Wood to face.
Basically, her ultimate is Wild Growth, which pretty much makes the target allied champion into a giant. It also gives them a 60% slow AoE, which is ridiculous because that's 60% slow, and it knocks
Slow
up enemy
aura.
champions on cast. Yes.
I mean, it can be used in so many situations. I've had that used to where it saved me from a tower, to where I slowed down the entire enemy team. Lulu does
Yeah, it
have a
also
whole
gives-
lot of options.
Yeah,
Tons of
like
options.
Wild Growth literally gives you additional health too, so it essentially acts like a second heal. That's essentially a healing skill because you keep the additional health when you come out of Wild Growth too. So I don't know why people keep running away from me whenever I'm trying to go and use Wild Growth or heal on them. Why?
Wait, they keep the health when they come out of it?
Yeah, they do.
Really?
I've
Like,
noticed
it's a
that.
permanent health increase?
Yes, it is.
It's not supposed to be, I'll
sense-
tell you that.
A lot of nerfing.
Yeah,
A lot
I
of it.
sense a lot of nerfing too.
No, that is a bug. It's supposed to be temporary. Zypher was even talking about how it was supposed to work on the forums and stuff a few days before they released her. It's not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually seen the difference in the HP bar when I had it used on me. It's like the extra HP has the normal ticks, but the tops and bottoms of the lines are cut out to where it's like half of a line, and they have a slash through it. So it looks completely different from a shield. It's not a shield, but it's not regular HP.
Yep.
It's a completely different UI for it.
Weird.
It's weird. I
And I like how
know.
they said 6 spells for Lulu, when really 2 of her spells just have different uses on allies or enemies.
Yeah, I know. That was really strange.
They said she has 6
Like, I was-
spells?
Yeah?
Yeah, they literally said that she had 6 spells. I thought that she was gonna be like Lee Sin, and she
Wow.
wasn't.
It wasn't entirely incorrect, but it was a bit misleading.
Yep.
I'd like to see more champions like this, where you don't have to remember every skill like Lee Sin, but to where it has multiple utilities, like maybe in a carry. You know, that would be kind of interesting.
Okay, admittedly, I've actually read very differing opinions on Lulu,
Okay.
and this is just because people aren't very used to support play. Like, literally, it's either Lulu is extremely strong, and this is with people who are very used to casters and to support players, or people who are trying her out for the first time. She is mind-numbingly difficult to play. I make her look easy here, but...
Well, yeah, like most of us don't play support.
Yeah, but if,
I
like,
do.
say I let Theo play Lulu for a while, he'll probably fail.
Oh god.
Yeah, but
Because
you, me,
you
and
have
Susie.
to, yeah,
Completely
you have
can play
to
supports.
literally, yeah, me and Susie can probably play her as a support. But if I try
Hey,
giving her to
that's
somebody...
Support.
Huh?
She's a supportal.
Supportal,
Yes.
yes.
Wouldn't she be a
But if-
pixel?
If you try Lulu without the foreknowledge of how to
That's
position, how to bait, how zoning works, you're gonna have a hell of a time trying to play Lulu in the first place.
And honestly, we wouldn't have this
Arguably,
problem.
though,
After you.
aren't those arguably skills that everyone should learn for any champion?
Yes, and I'm sad to say that a lot of people don't know them, which is why they get pummeled when they play these really weak, squishy champions. Because Lulu can't take a hit.
Here's the
She is actually got a slower movement speed than most support champions, admittedly.
Here's the thing, though.
Wait, what does she start out with?
I have to look it up, but I know it's slower than a lot of them. That's why a lot of people complain about her, is because she's a lot slower.
Here's the thing, though, is
Looking it up.
the community would have more exposure to supports if there were more supports. This is the first support in, I think, a year, was it? Over a year? So if Riot would
Yeah.
actually develop more supports, the community
Killsteal.
would be
Killsteal.
more
I
prone
saw
to
that.
use them. So that's partially Riot's fault
Yeah.
for not making supports inviting. Because we have like Soraka, Gianna, who else is actually interesting to play? Zillion you can kind of
Hey, to
support.
their
Karma's really weird, though, no?
Yeah, a lot of people like playing Karma as an AP carry off support.
Yeah.
Karma's just
To Riot's credit, though, they have acknowledged that, and they've stated that they are going to start making supports more regularly.
I'm just saying
Which,
it has
to them-
affected the community.
Yeah, to them I tip
Right.
my hat.
my
I tip my
mudkip
hat.
hat.
What?
My mudkip hat.
No,
Tip your
not,
mudkip hat.
not the mudkip hat.
Fix your earbuds.
Anyway,
So
But-
where are we at in the gameplay here right now? What's
this
the
is pretty
score?
much the mid game, like pretty mid late game, where most of your time and energy is going to be into skirmishes. So right now I'm sort of kind of picking and choosing which items I want based off of team comp and based off of enemy team comp. So I decide on Zeke's Herald because we have auto attack champions, I think. Or did I pick something completely different? I think I picked Zeke's Herald because of Vayne and Kog'Maw. That's another thing that you probably have to consider also.
You're
is
still
that,
fast forwarding.
Yeah, that's because
Wow.
the stuff doesn't start happening really till here.
You
Most of
missed
the time I was
a
running
fight,
away.
though.
It was
Not
just
really, it was a
It was
skirmish.
a baby team fight.
Yeah, it was a skirmish, pretty much.
That Nocturne ult, and then Vayne killing Nocturne reminded me of the game where Nocturne ulted 4 times, and 3 of them he ulted to a Shyvana dragon form, which caused him to die. Worst Nocturne ever.
Yep. And here you can see the effects of having help picks on somebody else. You saw that like the vectors on like the bottom of the screen, or this is where it should be happening.
That's really nice if you have a voice chat going and you can actually say, okay, go to the other side of them, we'll hit them in the middle, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really good for pincer attacks. I would admit, yes.
Guys, I know what we're doing later.
I know, right?
Nocturne dies again from ult.
Pardon the
Yes,
Skype call
Nocturne
quality.
is probably... Yeah, okay. My Vayne is derpy, their Nocturne is derpier. The Nocturne thinks it's a good idea to go and jump in when Kog'Maw and or Vayne are in the vicinity of me. And possibly Malzahar, because by now the Rise has disconnected and it's literally a 4v5. The Rise in the middle of the match, and I'm really sorry, but I think you were incredibly if the Rise will ever find this video. I'm sorry, you were incredibly childish of leaving this game, assuming that we were going to lose based off of the fact that the Vayne died 3 times at top and I didn't.
It's gonna be like the Soraka syndrome, to where if everything goes to
In a
hell,
way, I really
you
hope you
can
use this video.
start going AP and completely carry the game.
I didn't even build any AP on Lulu right now, and I think my ending score was 2-5-36.
36. Wow.
That admittedly was my fault, though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You make it? Oh, you don't make
What,
it
the
out.
2 kills?
Yeah,
But-
that was admittedly my fault. I actually did see the 2 people coming from River, but there were 3 others that came from the lane, which, yeah.
In your defense, it took all 4 of them to kill you.
Yes! It took like all 5 of them to kill me. This happens constantly. I don't even consider Vayne there, so it's literally kind of like a 3-5. And this is where I make another great escape, I think. Yep.
And Vayne die. Why would you strafe that way? Why would you not strafe towards the safety zone?
I don't know.
Rush. I don't know why, but
Come on, get Nunu, get Nunu.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, very nice.
Nice ulti.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh my gosh, that is a pro Kog'Maw snipe.
Honestly, this Kog'Maw seems like he knows what he's doing as far as his own plays, but his positioning keeps being way off.
Yeah, earlier
Well,
he got 5-man games at bottom turret.
Here we go. Kog'Maw's in the middle of everything. Wild growth, immediate domination.
Oh wait, let's watch, let's watch. Wow.
See, that's what I'm talking about, though. He went in and face-checked a bush.
And this is pretty much like, I don't know, this is pretty much like the best Lulu play I've done for like the past 2 days, because the more and more people start knowing about how Lulu works, the less and less effective she got.
Mm-hmm.
But she's still pretty strong. I mean, this is literally my first game with her, and it was shortly after she was released. This is me at 3 a.m., and I was really tired. I didn't sleep at all the night before because I knew I was going to go and sleep in. And
Well, that explains why you were doing so well. It's proven fact, Lulu is easier to play and her skill shot's easier to land if you are drunk. So I assume that the level of fatigue that you would experience at 3 a.m. is roughly equivalent to inebriation.
Disclaimer. FROGAiming does not support alcohol, LSD, Valium, or other drugs.
Wait,
Please be
if you lag
advised.
out for anybody else.
Wait, we don't? Crack.
we don't support her.
Hide the goods, Theo. Hide them all.
Uh-oh. Cogs derping again.
Cogs derping.
You better hug that
This is
turret.
what I'm talking about. He knows how to play his champion. He does not know
You never
how
know,
to
though.
play the game as well.
You never know. He might have just gotten good with Cog and not actually gone into practice with him up until this point.
Yeah, I mean, this
Oh,
is
that's-
line pick, so... I don't expect everybody to be spectacular. In draft, I expect people to be a little more competent, yet I don't have, you know... I actually expect them to be derpier in draft.
It might be 3 a.m. for him, too.
Yeah, that too.
Oh dear.
6.
Oh, poor mouse.
I think in the middle of the... I think in the, like, in the middle, I actually type out, this is why I should never play games at 3 a.m. Yep. I really kind of actually hate the free week that Lulu was released, mainly just because it's Vayne free week, and Vayne is terrible. Vayne has very little synergy with a lot of different support champions I've seen.
Vayne Nunu can work, but that's a tank.
Yes, Vayne Nunu works. Vayne Nunu works. I think Blitzcrank Vayne works also.
Blitzcrank's a support?
Yeah, Blitzcrank's support.
Alistar Vayne also
He
works.
can be.
Wait, you can?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, see, the thing is, a lot of people try to play pure tanks as supports, especially like Leona. The reason it doesn't work is because late in the game, once everyone else starts getting items and you don't, you can't get into melee range to use the majority of your abilities, or else you explode. I mean, like late game Leona, Leona is basically I'm thinking about her ulti. Late game support Leona is basically an ulti slave. That's all she can use is her ultimate.
Oh, Fae.
Because if she tries to go into melee range to use her other abilities, she just explodes. The one and only reason why...
You're dead.
The one and only reason why support Blitzcrank works is because he brings the enemies to him. His pull is at a range. So when you pull an enemy to you, yes, that puts you at melee range with them, but they're the ones who are caught out of position, and they're in the defensive, and they can't go after you, or else your laning buddy will tear them to shreds.
Yep.
That's the only reason support Blitz works.
Especially with his pop-up. It's like, pull you, pop-up, suddenly you're half dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh gosh.
Is your enemy a Baron or something?
Nope, they were here.
Oh, they were. Oh, yeah, there they go.
Oh.
Lulu pretty much, okay, can I say this? Lulu pretty much destroys Fiora. She destroys Aurelia. She destroys any champion whose gimmick is they need to auto attack you, because pretty much their lifesteal that was keeping them alive is a pipe dream.
Wait, so we don't have to
play
nerf Aurelia
Caitlyn
anymore?
versus Lulu.
That's actually funny because she was nerfed.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, she was nerfed in the Lulu patch. Her lifesteal and stuff was like cut in half.
Wow.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Yeah, I know.
Don't play Caitlyn versus a Lulu. Note to self.
And then in the chat, they're exploding, going, "Blah, who the fuck said you Kog'Maw?" I'm like just standing there going, I didn't do anything. I didn't make Kog'Maw live through all those team fights.
I didn't turn you into kitties.
No one needs feed Kog'Maw. Cog feeds himself.
Oh dear.
Because you know, Cog and Flowers are the most manly combo in the world, hands down. No one beats it.
Nikasaur approved.
Nikasaur.
Indeed.
Isn't there a Kog'Maw skin with flowers?
And there we
Yes,
go.
there
I
is.
have. Yep.
I thought it was butterfly.
Here we go. Now I have Zeke's.
And that is
I
not
have
why the
Zeke
screen
Carroll.
sped up. That is not the effect of Zeke's.
Yep.
Suddenly, Zeke's OP.
If anybody was really curious about what build I was going for, I kind of built Lulu the same way I built Sona, as sort of an aura slave. I have more actives though. Like I get Shirelia's, I get Locket of Iron Solari, I get DG.
Didn't you say
Honestly,
you were
that's
juggling
pretty
4
much-
actives at one time?
Well, yeah. Also, I get wards.
Honestly, that's pretty much the standard support builds for the current meta. Like, I was watching this one guy's stream to where he had a high ELO player, you know, sitting down and coaching him, and they were talking about support builds and stuff. There are like 2 optimal builds that are there right now, and one of them is actually the one that you are building in this match, the Shirelia's Rush.
Yeah.
Philostone, Boots 1, Heart of Gold, Boots 2, and then straight into Shirelia's. Maybe picking up a Kage's if you're starving for gold.
Which, I don't know. I was doing pretty well, so I wasn't. Sadly enough. This is where it starts getting ballsy, though. Because now Kog'Maw and Vayne are shredding the enemy team, whereas remember the Vayne was doing so terribly earlier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think I whimsied, I whimsied Nunu right there, and he was still channeling his ultimate. It was only until Vayne pushed him out of it that it actually stopped.
You'd think it would cancel it though, because silences are supposed to.
But polymorph is not a silence. That's the ultimate key in that. It's not really a silence.
It just cancels out your skills.
At first I thought so too, but actually it is considered one. They have the silence icon over their heads when you use it.
Really? Well, I've never been really the receiving end of it.
Unless they changed it.
Yeah, because when you have polymorph on you and you use skills, you get polymorphed. So technically, by the game, it's considered for condition.
Why didn't you die for that turret? One more hit and it would be down.
I know. That's actually what I typed out. I was focused on killing the turret while everybody was getting mad at me in the chat.
Because you always blame the support.
Yeah, that is the effective tier of blame. Support first, tank second.
It's usually jungler support tank.
Jungler support tank, yeah.
Support first, jungler second. There's no one else because pure tanking is a lost art and nobody plays pure tanks anymore.
Oh, that's true.
Okay.
Sad face.
Okay. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're doing a pure tank jungler, but in that case, you are the jungler. And junglers get blamed anyway.
Twice as screwed.
Oh, that was.
Oh, what is this Vayne doing?
Yeah, funny enough, the Vayne was initiating for every game because we lost.
Every game?
Like the whole game, she was initiating because we lost our eyes. So it was either Kog'Maw or Vayne initiating fights. But Lulu is actually a pretty good initiator herself because of her slows and lockdowns.
But isn't she a little behind from all those deaths? Shouldn't Cog be going in and then Vayne a close second?
I don't know. I mean, she started getting fed like around this portion of the game where these team fights happen and terrible things. Although I think this one was just kind of a lost cause. I kind of run out of it. Yeah. Yeah, I used my ultimate on myself to make sure I didn't get knocked out. Oh dear.
That was brutal.
Like, it looks like we're losing, but we're not.
It's
actually a pretty close game. Yeah, if I wanted to go and pull up the kill count, which I can't see right now because of the video is so small, I can't actually read any of the text. Except for my name and, like, everybody else's names. Like,
I can read my name. Everything's fine.
Yeah. If I actually wanted to go and look at the kill count, it's really close right now, but this is... I don't know. Now we're doing just play-by-plays instead of Lulu talking. What is this? I don't even...
Quick, commentary mode, go!
Now, this is actually where Lulu's effectiveness really does come in, though, because if you have... You essentially give your team advantages that the enemy team doesn't have. Like for here, the enemy team has a Vayne, but since Vayne has me, I can give her a movement speed buff, and no matter what kind of boots the enemy Vayne gets, my Vayne will always beat her in a fight because she can chase.
Unless they have a Lulu too.
Unless
they have a Lulu.
That's to me the interesting thing. Is Lulu going to become mandatory in team comps now? Or is everyone just going to ban her?
I don't know. Her kit is so versatile, though, but I'm guessing that it's going to get knocked down pretty hard because, okay, think about it. 80% decaying slow, 60 movement speed reduction, 60% AoE mobile, AoE slow when you use wild growth on an ally, and polymorph, which locks you down and you're not able to do anything for 2.5 seconds at max level.
Better nerf Aurelia.
So. Better nerf Aurelia. Oh dear. I wore it wrong.
There's one thing that I'm not sure why you do. Why did you get a Deathfire Grass?
It's pretty much situational if you want to get a Deathfire Grasp or not. I just got it here because if somebody derps out and does something wrong, I can at least DFG to add a couple of bits of extra damage. But if I knew that like we were gonna win every team fight, because it was a close game and I wasn't too sure. If I knew we were gonna go and like win every team fight, I would have gotten Morello's instead because it gives better like passive stats. But if you factor in the active of DFG, it's pretty okay.
Why not get a Woda?
Because we don't have anybody really that benefits from Woda except for Malzahar and Ka.
A curious thought I just thought of. For a Banshee's Veil and her Glitter Lance, do they hit at such an exact rate that both would be deflected, or can you actually use it to pop the Banshee's Veil, the first one taking out the Veil and then the second actually doing the damage?
No, because they shoot at the same rate at the same time.
Oh.
So.
Damn that code.
Yeah, it sucks, I know.
That would be like a split second, tweak to get it to work, but I understand why they didn't.
Yeah. I wish I could pop it. Sadly enough, I didn't even take the time to go use any of my item actives here because usually we're just in and out really fast. Because I got Locket of Iron Solari earlier on because I thought that we might start losing team fights because of our 4v5 situation, but we're winning.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a thing that you have to remember is that Lulu is actually item. She is level based. Her effectiveness goes up with the more levels she gets, instead of the more items she gets. Of course, she'll be more and more effective when she gets more items, but her items are less detrimental to how she will work on your team because.
After you.
But that what?
That's really what defines a support. Is a champion that can be effective and helpful without scaling off of items.
Yeah, I mean, she has a 0.7. She has a 0.7 ratio on her Q. She has a 0.6 ratio on help picks, and wild growth. I forget the scaling. I think it's 0.6 on wild growth as well. And the thing about that is that she only has 2 damaging spells she can rely on. This is why mid Lulu does not work. She doesn't have the trading power. She can't trade with most champions at mid. Like, even if you can land Glitterlands and help picks, she probably won't trump most mid champions who simply can have a better spell rotation in mid. That's why I'm telling you now, mid Lulu, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm sorry. I'm so angry whenever I see them. I'm like, don't do it. Huh. And then there's also all of these strange builds that are going around, like AD Lulu and...
That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, because of help. Everybody wants to do it because of her passive. They want to do AS Lulu. They want to do AD Lulu, thinking that her passive will help. Her auto attack damage is much lower than every other champion's as a result of having her passive. She's not going to get that much better even if you try to hinge your build off of passive. I'm telling everyone now. Oh dear. Otherwise, this game is pretty much a done deal. Any last words?
Not bad, that's all I'll say.
Boo.
I definitely want to buy her. And yes, Moo and Ribbit.
Oh yeah, and Vayne killing enemy Vayne at Fountain.
Wow, so far. Shane?
Not much else to say, really.
Please, God damn it, you didn't call.
I know I'm probably going to think of something as soon as we stop recording.
Probably, but that's what comments are for.
I know, right? And descriptions. I don't see why people go and read my funny descriptions that I write on some of the
This
videos.
is true. Me and Faith do try very hard.
Yeah, I guess that is one thing. Just, you know, leave us some comments below. Let us know how you liked the video and specifically what you did like, what you didn't like.
This is a different
Try
format.
to do better next time.
This is a different format too. We're doing it, commentating over a sped up video versus the hectic hell of having to do it live. So, whatever you guys like better, we'll do.
Honestly, I personally kind of like doing it live, though. It's fun to actually be playing the game while you're chatting about what's going on.
We can alternate.
Yeah.
So we will see
Just
you all
confuse
next
people.
Bye-bye!
Bye.
Come on, you. Let's dance.